Hello, welcome to True Spirit. Today's story didn't begin with success. It began with pain, with challenges, with questions, and with moments which slowly started bringing about a change. I'm referring to Muscular Dystrophy Foundation, who has been into the space for more than 4 years now, helping people who are affected by muscular dystrophy. And this usually affects one in every 3,500 boys. My guest for today is Mrs. Rama, who is the co-founder of Bharat Muscular Dystrophy Foundation. And she is someone who has not just witnessed pain in front of her eyes, but she is someone who has making, has made this her mission in life. So let's welcome her and let's get started to understand more about her mission and also why she started Bharat MD Foundation. Welcome to the show, ma'am. Thank you for
Thank you.
joining.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Pratima ji.
Yeah, ma'am. So to get started with, what actually inspired you to start Bharat MD Foundation? Is it because of a personal reason, or was it some incident that has moved you?
Yeah. To begin with, yes, it's a personal reason. Initially, uh, my kid Aditya was diagnosed in 2016 when he was 2 with Duchenne muscular dystrophy. We never heard that before, though we have been working in previous sectors in health insurance like that and all. We never heard that type of diagnosis. We were shocked initially, and on the second stage, we want to get a confirmation, second opinion we wanted to take and all. It took us 6 months to get the second opinion on second confirmation saying that yes, it is Duchenne muscular dystrophy, which is very fatal. It took us some time to understand, and slowly, it took us 2 years, in fact, to know what is the disease, why only to my child, why only to boys, uh, to know all that. Yes, there is a personal one. Coming to it, he was diagnosed when he was 2 years. We don't know whether we are fortunate or unfortunate to be diagnosed at a very early stage. 2 is just 24 months. Even the doctors were shocked to hear that he was 2 when he was diagnosed. Now he is 12 years old. 12 years old. And we come into the foundation. We formed this in 2022. This foundation is formed by the primary caregivers of Duchenne muscular dystrophy boys, and we registered it as a foundation to do the service or to serve the community in a better manner. This has evolved because when the diagnosis happened, not only to me, to many other parents, we were not knowing where to go, whom to approach, whom to connect, in order to see that someone will be able to help us out, because it's a rare genetic disorder which is very fatal. And what are the precautions to be taken, or how to manage these kids, because there is no medication. That was the biggest challenge. This has evolved out of the challenges,
Okay,
and to
okay.
serve better. I mean, if any new person is being diagnosed or any new parent is diagnosed, just to help them out.
So you said this is formed, your NGO is formed with the parents of the boys. So does this affect only boys?
Not exactly boys. In 3,500 boys, one boy is affected. In 1
Okay,
lakh girls, one girl is affected.
okay, okay,
It's very, very rare in girls. The
okay,
ratio is 3-5 is to 1, 1 lakh is to 1. In our
okay,
in our community, in our purview, in the foundation system or the database, we have 5 girls
okay,
diagnosed with Duchenne muscular dystrophy. As I said, 3,500 in 3,500 boys, one boy is affected.
okay. And why does it affect mostly boys? What are the
As
reasons?
I said, it's a rare genetic disorder.
Mhm.
It's mostly with the X chromosome.
Okay,
X chromosome linked. In
Okay.
boys, one chromosome is from the mother,
Right.
but in girls we have double. I mean, second X also. They are manifesting carriers. We call them. Mostly it
Okay.
is to the boys. Coming to Duchenne muscular dystrophy only. Other muscular
Right.
dystrophies are from both X and Y.
So I was just reading about it. I think there are more than 30 muscular dystrophy types and divided into 9 categories. What is the most prevalent one in India?
Most prevalent is Duchenne muscular dystrophy.
Okay. Okay.
Most prevalent
So,
is Duchenne muscular dystrophy. Yeah.
so you said, if the mother is carrying, then the boys get it, but very rarely the girls. Uh, so if the mother has a girl child, will that girl, when she gets married, will she also become a carrier?
It's not 100% saying that the daughter will also be a carrier.
Okay.
In some instances, daughters were also carriers. It's
Mm-hmm.
not compulsory saying that the mother is a carrier.
Yes.
Many of them are non-carriers also. Even the mother is not a carrier also, because of some
Right.
mutations happening at that level. It is being diagnosed for the kid. There are de novo mutations also here.
Okay.
We can say that 30% is de novo and 70% is heredity in the families.
Okay. Okay. And what is the percentage of kids who are affected by this problem in Telangana and Andhra, at least to be specific, because those are the areas you're mostly working?
Um, Coming to the population or percentages, there is no clear picture, but the
Okay.
numbers which are at our end, because here there are many things: diagnosis, information to the parents, it should be known to the doctors who are being approached. There are many factors. Those people who are being diagnosed with a perfect diagnosis, with a perfect genetic report, we have numbers at our end. Again, the
Okay.
percentage varies. There are many factors which, as I am disclosing, it can be, if the diagnosis is late, we can't say they are into this.
Okay.
Those are the factors.
Okay. And Duchenne muscular dystrophy is a progressive medical condition. అది పెరిగే కొద్దీ ఇంకా ప్రాబ్లం పెరుగుతూ ఉంటుంది పిల్లలకి. They start
Um,
losing. So, can you describe the daily routine or the daily activities of a child who's affected by this? Do they go to a normal school, or you know
yeah,
what happens with them once they are diagnosed?
it's as normal as normal, but there are challenges. If the kid is mobile, because by 10, 11, on an average, the kid loses his mobility. If the kid
Okay,
is mobile, the activities are as common as a normal family
okay,
until he faces some mobility challenges. Once a kid is non-mobile and he is onto the wheelchair, then the difficulties or the day-to-day activities are gone. In the sense, from like everything, we need to see the child as if as a newborn child. Everything, the daily activities, the daily living activities, to be taken care as the parents. Like as we all
okay,
have our own activities, they also be taken care. There's a challenge, lots of challenge. Few of them go to school 100%
okay,
because of the awareness to the parents, or awareness in the school, or the school allowing them with a lift or a ramp or a
okay,
caregiver. Few of them are going to school, absolutely they are doing their regular course. But
okay,
where there is challenge, the infrastructure challenge is there, where the kid is also not in a position to go. Because as I said, most of them understand muscular dystrophy as muscle weakness, which is wrong. Muscular dystrophy affects the physical movement, I mean the physical parts, as well as heart and lungs also in the long run. The progression of the
okay,
muscle is there in those 8 parts of the body. That is
right,
reason, yes, there is a challenge with the non-ambulatory.
okay. So you said one challenge is infrastructure. What are the other challenges which the DMT kids face?
There are many to say, but I will sum up saying, as parents, we are emotionally, I mean, how to cope up with this, what to do, how is tomorrow. because many of them have the, I mean, because it's a progressive disorder, and we see many people passing away in sleep.
Oh, okay.
We don't know. I mean, there are instances wherein the kid had food, had slept in the night, next day morning,
Okay.
they are not there. That is also,
Okay.
and the social stigma, social
Okay.
acceptance,
Okay.
it should be from within. I mean, like the parents are also, they have to come out of it. They have to treat the kid in a normal way, inform them. I mean, there are many things, emotionally, physically, financially. There are too many factors surrounded by the parents. Our community is like to come out of it. Yes, we are there for you. We both are on the same lines. They are people who are surviving, or who are, we will create hope. Nothing will happen. Let us fight the battle
Together.
and together. That's what we communicate, or we try to give them hope.
Okay. Um, what were the toughest battles you had to fight 4 years back when you decided to start this organization?
Toughest battle is a tough question. uh, Initially, we thought like it's easy to form a foundation, to run it, etc. and all. But we had a problem. అంటే స్టార్టింగ్ అప్పుడే చాలా, అంటే ఫౌండేషన్ అంటే మనము రిజిస్టర్ చేయాలి, అదొక ఎట్లా రిజిస్టర్ చేయాలి, ఎక్కడ చేయాలి, ఏం చేయాలి, మనం నడపగలం అంటే చెయ్యాలి ఏదో సొసైటీకి అని ఉండింది. కానీ దానికి ఎట్లా అన్నది మాకు కొంచెం ప్రాబ్లం అయింది. ఎందుకంటే అందరం ప్రైమరీ కేర్ గివర్స్మే, బయటికి వెళ్ళాలి, ఆ, తిరగాల్సి వస్తుంది, పిల్లల్ని ఇట్లా పెట్టుకొని బయట తిరగలుగుతామా లేదా, ఆ ఛాలెంజెస్తో పాటు ఒకవేళ ఫౌండేషన్ స్టార్ట్ చేసిన తర్వాత దీన్ని తీసుకెళ్ళాలి. చేసేసాము, పెట్టేసాము, ఏదో పేపర్లో ఫోటోలు దిగాము, సోషల్ మీడియా పెట్టాము, అట్లా కాకుండా ఎట్లా తీసుకెళ్ళాలి అంటే ఒక స్ట్రక్చర్డ్ ప్లాన్ ఏమీ పెట్టుకోలేదన్నమాట. ఎట్లా నీడ్ వచ్చింది, ఎట్లా పేరెంట్స్ నుంచి సపోర్ట్ ఇవ్వాలి వాళ్ళకి, అలా ఎలా వస్తే అలా వెళ్ళిపోయాం మేము ఫస్ట్ 1-2 years. ఎస్, ఛాలెంజ్ ఉండింది. చాలా మంది మా కమ్యూనిటీలోనే అన్నారు, ఇంట్లో ఉండక వంట పని చేసుకొని పిల్లల్ని చూసుకోకుండా మీకెందుకు ఇది అని. బట్ వాట్ స్ట్రాంగ్లీ వీ ఫెల్ట్ ఇస్ మదర్ నోస్ మోర్
Yeah.
దాన్ ఏ ఫాదర్. ఐ మీన్ ఫాదర్కి తెలుసు తెలియదని కాదు, కానీ మదర్ కీన్గా చూస్తారు. ఫుడ్ నుంచి ఏమైనా మెడిసిన్స్ ఏదైనా రిక్వైర్మెంట్ ఉంటే మాట్లాడడం, చేయడము, ఆ ఎంపతి, కొంచెం ఎంపతికల్ ఫ్యాక్టర్స్ మదర్ దగ్గర మనము చూస్తూ ఉంటాం అనమాట. ఆన్ దీస్ లైన్స్ ఎస్ ఉంది ఛాలెంజ్. ఇప్పుడు కూడా మేము బయటికి వెళ్ళాలి, పిల్లల్ని వదిలేసి బయటికి వెళ్ళలేము. ఏదైనా అవేర్నెస్ చేయాలని, ఏమైనా చేయాలన్నా ఒకళ్ళు ఉండాలి వెనకాల వాళ్ళని సపోర్ట్ చేస్తూ అట్లా. ఛాలెంజెస్ ఆర్ దేర్, బట్ ఏదో అంటే ఏమి సాధించేసేలేదు అనలేదు, కానీ కొంచెం వాళ్ళకి సపోర్ట్ ఇవ్వగలుగుతున్నాము, కరెక్ట్ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ ఇవ్వగలుగుతున్నాం, అది చేస్తున్నామని మేము అనుకుంటున్నాం.
So, did you feel like giving up when people around you were not encouraging you when you started this foundation? ఆపేద్దామని
ఆపేద్దామని ఎప్పుడు అనుకోలేదు. కానీ మేము ఎవరేమో, మేము 4-5 మంది డైరెక్టర్స్, 4 మంది డైరెక్టర్స్, మేము అందరం డిఫరెంట్ ఏరియాస్లో ఉన్నాం అనమాట. ఎప్పుడు ఆపేద్దామని అనుకోలేదు. కానీ ఎందుకు అలా అంటున్నారు, వై, మన్నే ఎందుకు అంటున్నారు, మనం ఏమైనా చేస్తున్నామా అంటే, వాళ్ళని ఇచ్చే ఏరియాలకు మనం ఏమైనా వెళ్ళామా, వాట్ వాస్ దట్ అంటే నాకు ఎవరో చెప్పారు మేము స్టార్టింగ్ చేసినప్పుడు, ఇట్ ఈస్ నాట్ ఈజీ టు రన్ ఏ ఫౌండేషన్, ఇట్ ఈస్ యాజ్ గుడ్ యాజ్ రన్నింగ్ ఏ పొలిటికల్ పార్టీ అని. వీఆర్ థింకింగ్, ఏంటి పొలిటికల్ పార్టీ అంటారు, మనం సర్వీస్ కదా చేసేది, మనం ఆ యాంగిల్లో ఉన్నాం కదా అని చెప్పి, అండర్స్టాండింగ్ అండ్ సీయింగ్ ద సొసైటీ ఫ్రమ్ డిఫరెంట్ యాంగిల్ వాజ్ నాట్ నోన్ టు అస్. That was also behind.
Okay. So, ma'am, what hurts you the most? Is it the problem or the lack of awareness? Because medical conditions or genetic conditions or any health issues ki unna awareness DMD, Duchenne muscular dystrophy ki inka kuda ledu. Yeah. So, what hurts you the most?
I will.
The problem is
I wish to elaborate a bit on this. First thing is,
Definitely.
problem is there. Problem is there. It's a challenging problem only. It's a life-threatening problem only. But let us face the problem. ప్రాబ్లమ్ని ఇప్పుడు ఇది ఒక రకమైన ప్రాబ్లం, వేరే ప్రాబ్లం వచ్చినచ్చు, ఇంకేదో ప్రాబ్లం వచ్చినచ్చు. లెట్ అస్ ఫేస్ అ ప్రాబ్లం, లెట్ అస్ ఫేస్ దట్ ఛాలెంజ్. కానీ దీనికన్నా ఎక్కువ ఏంటి అంటే అవేర్నెస్ లేకపోవడం మూలంగా ఎక్కడంటే అక్కడ ఆబ్స్టికల్, ఎక్కడంటే అక్కడ ఆగిపోవడము, అన్ని విషయాల్లోనే అవేర్నెస్. టు పేరెంట్స్ అవేర్నెస్ లేదు, బయట సొసైటీ అవేర్నెస్ లేదు, అదర్ ఏరియాస్లో అవేర్నెస్ లేదు, స్టేక్ హోల్డర్స్ దగ్గర అవేర్నెస్ లేదు. ఆ, దీనికి కారణం ఏంటంటే మస్కులర్ డిస్ట్రఫీ అనే దానికి తెలియకపోవడం. దాన్ని ఎప్పుడు మజిల్ వీక్నెస్కి మస్కులర్ డిస్ట్రఫీకి చాలా అంతర్ ఉందన్నమాట, చాలా తేడా ఉంది. అది తెలియకపోవడం మూలంగా ఆ, చాలా చాలా ముందుకు వెళ్ళలేకపోతున్నాం, ఫాస్టర్గా ముందుకు వెళ్ళలేకపోతున్నాం. అవేర్నెస్ ఈజ్ ల్యాకింగ్ ఎవ్రీవేర్. ఎన్ని అవేర్నెస్ క్యాంప్స్ పెట్టినా, ఎంత ఇది చేసినా ఎక్కడో అక్కడ పేరెంట్స్కి వచ్చేపాటికి ఎట్లా తీసుకెళ్ళాలి, హౌ టు మేనేజ్ ద కిడ్స్, ల్యాక్ ఆఫ్ అవేర్నెస్. డాక్టర్స్కి ఎమర్జెన్సీ ఎట్లా ట్రీట్ చేయాలో తెలియదు. ఇన్ఫ్రాస్ట్రక్చర్, చాలా చాలా విషయాలు ఉన్నాయి. అంటే ప్రతి టాపిక్ తీసుకుంటే మళ్ళీ దాంట్లో చాలా ఇన్డెప్త్గా వెళ్తే కనుక చాలా విషయాలు ఉన్నాయి అన్నమాట. అవేర్నెస్ ఈజ్ మెయిన్ వాట్ ఐ ఫీల్.
Okay. So if someone comes to know about your NGO and they come to you, okay, మా చైల్డ్ కూడా మా బాబు కూడా ఇది ఉంది అని చెప్పి, టు క్రియేట్ అవేర్నెస్, వాట్ ఆర్ ద స్టెప్స్ దట్ యూ టేక్? వాట్ ఈస్ యువర్ అప్రోచ్?
If a new parent comes,
Right.
we'll ask them when was the diagnosis happened, what he knows about muscular dystrophy, current situation of the child and all. Based on that, we give the awareness, what is the next step, what can happen next, because of the years of experience our founders had. If he's 10 or 11, there might be problem in the mobility. If he's 13, 14, there might be problem in his pulmonary issue or cardiac issues. That type of awareness we try to create it to the parent. And what we also tell them is be aware of your kid, what is happening, how are his day-to-day activities, are there any changes. That is, on those lines we create awareness to the parent. What we in turn tell to the parent also, please make others understand, your friends, family also understand that there is a problem. They will also be aware. And if they wish to go for a second child or any new, they are planning to start any family, they should be properly counseled by a genetic counselor. Those 2-3 things we'll inform them initially. We'll also inform them, talk to your peers, tell them that there is some problem of this sort. But yes, it takes parents, new diagnostic parents, 2 to 3 years to come out of it. First of all, to understand, to digest this issue, it takes some time. Then they slowly come out, they understand the doctors, what's going on in and around. Slowly they come up. Initially, on the first 2-3 years, we can't expect from them anything, because they are in themselves only fighting with themselves and the kid and all. That is what we generally inform the parents.
Okay.
Coming to the other people like you or anyone, we will just inform them, this is something there, please be aware. If possible, please support us in the social media or spread the word that there is something coming up or something already existing.
Okay. So what kind of workshops or sessions do you do on a regular basis to create more awareness?
First thing is we connect doctors through webinars to understand what's happening.
Okay.
That is a webinar by the doctors. We have that, and we record them. We'll organize the webinars, ask the parents to join. If they're unable to join, we will upload that recording in the YouTube. Whenever the parent is feasible and whenever they are free, they can watch that. That is from the doctors. We also have caregivers talk shows.
Okay.
Senior caregivers who are there already with the problem and kids and all. We ask them to come online, and it's an open talk.
Okay.
Parents can ask any question to them regarding how to manage the kid, emotional support, what assistive devices support they need, or whom to consult. All those are parents can, in the open talk, the caregivers, the senior caregivers will inform. That is also uploaded onto the YouTube, because what happens here is, like, if we do a Zoom session, many parents cannot join because they have their own priorities. The kid might ask, take me to the washroom, or the kid might ask, feed me. All those things will be happening. This is for the parents. Coming to the other stakeholders in the society, we reach out to corporate schools to give awareness, like there is a problem, please understand and support. In these 2 lines, we are doing it.
Okay. And in this 4 years of work that you have done, have you seen any lives transform, and has it made you felt, yes, నేను తప్పు చేయలేదు ఎన్జిఓ స్టార్ట్ చేసి, సపోర్ట్ చుట్టుపక్కల వాళ్ళు క్రిటిసైజ్ చేసిన, ఐవ్ డన్ అ రైట్ థింగ్ అనే ఇన్స్టెన్స్ ఆర్ మూమెంట్ కెన్ యూ షేర్?
Yeah, thank you for asking this question. uh, any smile, any smile to a kid, that makes us happy. What best we have done till now is, in India we were not having any, because this particular problem doesn't have a medication or doesn't have a treatment. With our work we were able to reach out to global doctors who are doing or who are participating or who are principal investigators of trials. What we have done is, we have done 2 3 webinars to understand what is going on outside the world. Few of the parents who were interested, they have traveled to the hospitals in USA, and though will not tell that as a treatment, but they have undergone the therapy trials and they came back successfully. What many of the parents tell to us is, we are not alone. There is a community wherein they will help us, they will guide us and give the correct source of knowledge or information. This makes us a bit proud. Yes, though we did not achieve 100%, yes, what can be done, that is being taken care. Correct information to a parent is the ultimate one, what we are thinking currently. And correct information as well as correct sources, because exploitation is more in this type of rare diseases.
Right.
This is what I want to summarize.
Okay. And ma'am, ఇది ప్రోగ్రెసివ్ disease కాబట్టి, what are the measures taken by the doctors to keep the child comfortable as the disease is progressing? What kind of therapies or exercises?
Yeah, initially in this particular rare disease also we have two set of protocols. One is
Okay.
steroid taking, the other is non-steroid. It is again on the
Okay.
parents to decide whether they should take steroid to their kids or not.
Okay.
Okay, if they are taking steroid protocol, and there might be some other, because it's a steroid, we have its own advantages and disadvantages. Doctors in a timely order will tell, if they are taking steroid, what precautions to be taken, when the 2D echo to be done, regular physiotherapy to be done, when they should undergo a scan. All those types will come. If they are taking steroid or non-steroid, also the protocols are similar. At what stages what to be given to to the kids is given. A protocol system is set up by the doctors, the treating doctors, about this type of disease. There is that, again, as a community, as a foundation, or um, as a support system, we also guide them at various stages what to be done. We give them the handouts in every regional language. We have converted them and we translated them. We are giving them to the parents also.
My next question, it might be a little sensitive question, but what is the normal life expectancy of the child who's diagnosed by muscular dystrophy? So far,
Sorry, what was the last line?
what have
So
you
far, okay.
observed?
Earlier, when my kid was diagnosed,
Hmm.
it was early teens.
Okay.
When my kid was diagnosed 10 years back.
Okay.
Before that, it was it was not known. Slowly what's happening is, because, as I said, lot of awareness in the parents, in the doctors, lot of hospitals are also able to understand what's happening and all. With the social media and parents talking and all, the average expectancy has gone up to 25 in India. Outside India, the average expectancy is 35 to 40, 45 to 50 also. In few countries, 55 years Duchenne adult is also living. He's also married.
Okay.
In the outside world, because of many other factors. I'm happy in India also, we are slowly moving on. The progression is, though I cannot say that the progression stopped, but the average expectancy is been increasing.
Okay.
Is being
So
increasing.
there is hope for those
Hope,
who
yeah.
are diagnosed, but there is no permanent treatment for this, is it?
Currently, yes, there is no permanent treatment. Whatever there are available, there are only therapies, because it's a genetic disorder.
Right.
It's a genetic disorder. Permanent therapy, permanent treatment is not there, but therapies are going on, trials are going on. The situations are different. Every year, the situations are changing. The same situation was not there in 2024. Now it is in 2026. People are traveling outside India to get the trial done for their kids. 3 years to 13 years, they're going, which is a clear cut hope.
Okay. So, which countries have these, treatments? Apart, if someone is diagnosed in India and they can shell out the money and they want to travel abroad, which country has the maximum, you know, best treatments? Is it
Um,
US?
I will not be able to say best treatment, but effective. Because the
Effective.
infrastructure, yeah, infrastructures are different there. US,
Okay.
basically, most of them are traveling to US for a trial.
Okay.
Few of
Okay.
them are going out of India also for a better infrastructure or education or any other thing, because the accessibility
Okay.
factors are more there. The assistive
Right.
devices, affordability is there. They have insurance there. In India, we don't have insurance. That's the biggest challenge we are facing for whatever it is.
Okay. So these kids don't get insurance
Uh,
in
very,
India.
very in India, there are insurance people offering. Insurance is being offered very. I mean, as per the Rare Disease Act, insurance is being given, but
Okay.
there are lot many challenges. Lot many challenges. Recently, very recently, 1 2 years back, only the central government has passed saying that even muscular dystrophy kids should be given, or the muscular dystrophy patients should be given insurance. There are some 21 disabilities covered under the Insurance Act, insurance policy. Slowly, again, there is a lot of awareness to be created, saying that there is an insurance policy. Please take. But for the assistive devices, we don't have insurance. For the
Okay.
assistive devices, for a wheelchair, we need to buy anything. We don't have insurance for those types. Only for life, health. Sorry, health.
Okay. If the child is admitted in the hospital, that kind of thing. So for this assisted devices, it can be a wheelchair or it can be a BiPAP mask or it can be anything. Are there any subsidies that are available?
Unfortunately, no.
Okay.
Um, those who can afford their effort, they are able to take it. Those
Okay.
a few of the state governments are offering power wheelchairs. Few of them are giving that.
Okay.
um,
Okay.
uh, High support needs is what is required, that to be taken up by the central and the state governments. High support
Okay.
needs, that is lacking. uh,
Okay.
if I mean, few of the foundations like us, we try to give it to the below poverty line, not for all. If they can afford, they can
Okay.
go. We just show them the vendors. uh,
Okay.
that's what is happening, current situation in India.
And if you had 1 minute with any policy maker and they ask you, to come up with one demand for these patients, what would that be?
uh, a national level policy wherein there should be awareness across, in all the medical colleges, in all
Okay.
the COEs or the government hospitals, there should be a neuromuscular clinics.
Okay.
A national policy for a registry is the need of the hour, and awareness among all sectors. As I say this point, education sector, health, finance,
We can't see
assistive
you. Can you?
devices, national registry, and awareness among all stakeholders, as well as there should be a policy for the rare diseases. Neuromuscular centers should be there. There is already a policy of rare diseases, but that should be implemented across. That is also there. Neuromuscular centers or clinics in all the government hospitals, which will be helpful for all the people in the rural as well as in the urban areas also. A national awareness policy should be there. Newborn screening, newborn screening, because as per our database, at minimum 15% of them have the second child with DMD. That
Okay.
is also there. If a newborn screening is there and the detection is happening, then that would be very helpful for the families, because in these types of rare diseases, financially, emotionally, physically, in all the matters, families are affected. we will see only we see only a person or the kid is affected, but his family is also affected, the caregivers are affected. uh, to take care of all this, a national level policy, a registry should be there, and across all government hospitals there should be neuromuscular clinics.
Okay. Um, what does true spirit or true strength mean to you? And what has muscular dystrophy taught you so far in your journey regarding dignity or care and
um,
in your life in general?
um, Patience. If you ask me personally, it taught me patience. It taught me to live this moment, the current moment, happily. On my personal front, these two are the things what I learned when my kid was diagnosed and in this journey. Uh, Coming to the foundation level, yes, there are many things uh, which I, as a person, I learned as a foundation. We have been able to reach so many families, and at the end of the day, people calling up and telling us, "Thank you for the support" or "Thank you for the information you have given. We saved a lot of time and money." These are the two three things which we as a foundation feel that yes, we are on the right track, though much to be achieved, much to be achieved. There should be prevention of this in the next 5 years. Our thought was not to prevent this particular type of rare genetic disorder. It can happen, it's a challenge, it's a big task, but at the end of the day, parents coming and saying thank you for whatever help or whatever support they got from the foundation. And we are also happy because they need not run to different places and all, they did not source out, they did not do window shopping like that, because they are getting the correct information. That is what is our niche.
Okay. Uh, okay, one last question, ma'am, before we wrap up. If I will be giving your contact details in the description of this video, but for people to reach out to you. But apart from donations, if you want support for Bharat MD Foundation, in what other ways can people help?
I have 4 to 5 points here.
Definitely.
Yeah, if someone knows about this disease, they can spread the awareness in the social media or tagging us or connecting to us. If any family is known about this disease, they should come out and they should talk, not in the public, at least to see how best management can be given to the kid. Coming to the other people, like if any person is known, they can connect us to the hospitals or the policymakers. If some pharmacy guys or the research guys are there, they can help us out in identifying what best can be done in India, what
Okay.
best can be done in India. And to all those who are listening, I inform them to be empathetic, to have inclusiveness. That's what we wish. Not a sympathy factor saying అయ్యో ఏమైపోయింది, ఏం చేశారు మీరు, ఇలా కాకుండా ఉండాల్సిందే, ఇంకెక్కడికో వెళ్ళండి, అక్కడ ఇంకేదో చేస్తారు, ఇంకేదో వచ్చేసింది, అవన్నీ కాకుండా empathetical గా ఉంటే చాలు. Any stakeholder, schools, wherever it is, if you are having the inclusiveness, then a better life can be given to a kid with these types of rare diseases. Empathy and inclusion are two words from my side.
Okay. Okay. Uh, is there something which the youth can do to support Bharat MD Foundation?
Yeah, very much. Because um, current generation, people are calling Gen Z, they are faster in all aspects. In all aspects, they can, as again coming back to the same point of spreading awareness, knowing about the disease. If they want to, I mean, in the future, if they want to start a family and all, get a genetic counseling done, to be able to know what is it's not like every kid or every family will get it, but knowing is better than unknowing. Let them know what it is happening and spreading the word. And if people are coming forward and if they want to join Bharat MD, there is much scope of volunteering work here. much scope of volunteering work, because uh, after a point of age of 20 or 20, 15 and all, these boys won't talk. I mean, they are slow. They will not come out of it. They want some person to be as a friend, talk to them like that. They are not, they are very clever, they are very intelligent, but because of the progression of the disease or because of the other stigmas, they tend to be inside the house. To come out of them, to get them outside, I mean, there are many things. If people are connecting to us, we'll be very happy to
So, do
work with them.
you internships? Do you offer internships?
Sorry, yeah, currently we are offering them. uh, it is an interest again on the students or the kids in which form they want to connect to us. Few of
Okay.
them volunteer to our foundation work.
Okay.
If you do any physical activity in I mean, physical activity, if you do any camps and all, we take the help of national service NSS students. In our
Okay.
community also, there are many siblings who come forward and do voluntary work during our camps, pushing the
Okay.
wheelchair or feeding them or writing, because these pen can't hold a pen after some time because of the progression of the disease. They help us in scribe. I mean, they come as, they also help us in writing. I mean, scribe we call them for the examinations and all. There are many people coming on. We wish many to come forward.
Okay.
Thank you for this question.
Okay. Okay. Would you like to say anything to the audience, ma'am, before we sign off?
um, Please be aware. If you find any person in the wheelchair, be empathy, show them the empathy, at least ask them how are they, or else don't ask them anything, or just ensure that they are given the passage just to pass on. That's enough. That's enough. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for joining True Spirit and for being a true spirit. All the best to Bharat MD Foundation.
Thank you so much for giving us the opportunity. There are very less forums who talk about the rare disease, and you have chosen us. Thank you for so much and for supporting our foundation and our work. Thanks a
It's
ton,
my
Pratimaji.
yeah,
Thank
thank
you
you.
so much.
Is a reminder for all of us that silent battles are the bravest ones. The tough battles are not visible. Most of them are fought silently. So, if this conversation has moved you, please share it and let's be more aware, because change comes from awareness. Until next time, keep listening, keep questioning, let's be more aware, and let's live with purpose. Thank you.